What's going on, everybody? I'm with my dude, Caleb.
Dirty West, what's up, baby?
What's going on? Caleb.
Yes,
got
sir.
a couple questions for you.
Okay, hold on. Is this thing?
Good to go?
We're good.
All right, man. As some of you guys may know that watch any of my videos or whatever it is, or if you heard about me like on the Tech Buds page, I moved here recently from Arkansas.
Yep.
We both do the exact same thing.
That's how we found each other.
That's how we found each other on Instagram. It's crazy how social media works. But how did you get started?
So I remember I was like 15 years old, and I was really gung-ho about like saving up for a car, because I just, like everybody, when you're 15, 16, you want a car.
You always see something you like.
Yeah,
you're like, I gotta have that.
Yeah, so you don't want to rely on rides. Like, no one wants to have like their mom drop them off. So I saved up $1,400 for a 1996 Dodge Neon. And obviously, like, I feel like, I mean, maybe this is just my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like 90% of kids get basically gifted their first car. Yeah. Right? And they don't have to
I got gifted my first car.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gifted. They wouldn't let me have a hot rod. So that's what gave me the determination.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So that was my determination. I had to literally save up every check, and I was also had other bills. I was paying for my braces and stuff. And I was like, hey, I just saved up like 6 months of work to drive and buy this car. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to like do my research and get a good deal.
That's how it started?
I don't want to waste my money. Yeah. And I was like, I only have $1,400. So every day, whenever I would like search on Craigslist, I had it like bottom dollar, $500. Top dollar was like $1,700.
Okay.
Like, at the time, I didn't think I could negotiate.
Yeah, that much.
So I was like $1,700, and maybe they'll take like 14. And then, so I really like, literally every day I was looking, because I was like, should I keep saving up more? So probably for a good month I was looking. So I got really familiar with like the going prices of like what my range could do.
Yeah.
And then I never would see anything like above like a year 2000. Because back in that time, like, that was kind of that price range. That's good. So then I remember one day, like, a 2007 popped up. And I was like, oh my God, like, how is this in my range? I was like, is this right? And I clicked on it and looked at it, and I was like, oh wow, this is a 2007. Like, it was something kind of crappy. And at the time, all I thought was like, oh, the newer the better. That one ended up being sold, but I bought the 96 Dodge Neon and then used it for about 2 years. And then when I went to go sell it, I was like, I worked hard for this thing. I want to make sure that, you know, I got it for a great deal, and I'm going to sell it for, you know, more than I got it for.
Right.
So I ended up doing exactly that. I think I only made like $300 on it. But to me, I was like, dang.
That's super good.
I was like, I made like $300 to drive this thing around for 2 years.
Yeah.
That was nuts. So.
Dude, that's exactly how I got started. I was also 15, turned 16. I got a really like cool truck in my
SS
Silverado.
Yeah.
It had a lot of miles on it, so it's not as expensive as some of you guys probably think it was, but it was a very cool car, especially for a first truck. But I was like, I always wanted an LS1 Camaro.
Yeah.
Always wanted one. I wanted the 6-speed, the T56 6-speed in it. They're really good. And my parents were like, no, you have a truck. And the insurance on that one, truck was high.
Yeah.
Like 16-year-old driving a super sport truck was like, So I was like, okay, well, like I have to figure out a way to make enough money to get the Camaro.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I like dirt bikes, I like four wheelers. I don't have enough cash. I'm 15. I think I really had like $800. Mm. I paid $600 for this little dirt bike, and then rode it all summer. And right before like I knew it was the end of summer, I was like, oh, no one's gonna want it in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't thinking about seasons really. I was just literally like, it's like straightforward. No one's gonna want it in the wintertime. So I sold it like right before it was becoming out of season, and I sold it for $1,100. So what is that profit? It's almost double.
Yeah.
$500 profit. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like,
it's a big moment, right?
It's huge.
Like when you have that moment, you're like, dang. Especially when you're working. That was the biggest thing for me, is I compared that to how hard I worked.
Yeah.
For that money, like at my
yeah. I was like, did I really like? Imagine if I would have bought it and then listed it the month later instead of having it 6 months. Yeah. I could have made $500 in a month.
Yeah, and then
done no work.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, like, there's some stuff, not really though.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got started. But I was like, okay, this Camaro, I have to do this like what 3 or 4 more times with 4-wheelers, and then the Camaro, if I find a steal, will be $3,800. Probably not because it's the standard.
Yeah.
Automatics were cheaper then. I knew that, and I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna get a 6-speed."
Yeah.
So I was like, just getting really smart, like as far as like becoming really aware of what someone might want. Like say you have a stick shift car. What would you want if you had maybe like, oh, they started a family, or oh, they need more room for some reason. The only thing that someone would change from a car would be a truck or an SUV. So I was like, what if I just use incentive? And I was like, I'll just find a truck that's a steal, and then I'll just sell it to someone that's in need of a car that has the Camaro. And I remember I bought a truck, a Game & Fish green truck. I was like 16, 17 at the time. My mom, if you're watching this, she's probably laughing right now because she knows exactly what truck I'm talking about. 4-wheel drive, paid $3,000 for it. And I found this Camaro in Memphis, Tennessee. I drove 2 hours to go get this car. Stick shift had to be, it was pewter is what the color was called. It's like a metallic silver, goldish. It's a weird color. I drove all the way to Memphis. I get this car with my girlfriend at the time. We drive it back. I knew it had an oil leak and it was in the worst spot possible, but I was like, I don't even care. And this guy's like, I have to have a truck. Like his girlfriend was with him and he had a baby in the back, in the car seat. And he's like, dude, I have to have a truck, man. So I was like, I'll trade you even. I was like, I have $3,000 in this truck, and I just got a $5,500 Camaro.
Yeah.
Because the transmissions were so much, and I was like, deal. So I drive 2 hours, had a bigger dent than I thought, and I was like, I don't even care. I was like, I got the car, it shifted good, drove good, LS1, and I sold it for like $5,700.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like 17 at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm
You're
like,
hooked.
Like
Definitely
in my head, dude, I'm like, because like. When we're 17, dude, having $200 is a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
17?
Yeah.
$300 is like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, no way I just have $5,700 at 17. And by the end of 17, I was doing even like little dirt bikes. I was doing like iPhones. But by the end of it, mainly I didn't do iPhones that much, but I did. I had like $7,500 cash. And I was like a 17-year-old. I didn't do the Shopify method.
No.
I didn't do anything. It was the old school method using Craigslist. But I was just like not outsmarting. I was just doing more research.
Yeah, exactly.
And like being smarter and not letting my wants get in front of what I needed. Yeah. And I thought that was like so cool. My parents were going, how the hell?
I think that's the one thing that like the both of us got really good at in the beginning was like being really good at like doing the research.
Yes.
Because like I looked every day and I knew that I knew better than 90% of people out there. And I was like, okay, if I know this market better than 90, I don't have to be the best.
No.
But if I know better than like 90% of people, I can make better money than 90% of people on this market.
Yeah.
So it's like I just have to wait for the
Takes
right
one person.
Yeah, exactly.
It only takes one person to make a sale.
Exactly.
In anything that's high ticket item, high purchase, cars, 4-wheelers, whatever it is. And I understood that. And I think what we know is that we're really, for some reason, like we both understand what sells the fastest, like what has the largest audience.
Yeah.
Like we understand that the Camrys, like it's going to be accommodate male, female, people buying their first car, parents buying their first car for a kid. It's not gonna filter out a lot of people. We understand what will and what won't.
Yeah.
And that's where I was, and I'm 15 at the time, going like,
yeah.
Like I knew there was something different there.
Yeah.
But I was like, and I just remember like trying to help my friends, and they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I was like,
I know. I was like,
I don't know if we should go in super depth with that, but I would tell my friends, I'm like, guys, it's right. Like, and they'd see me do it, and they go, yeah, but if I had the kind of money you had, I'm like, dude, I'm doing it in front of you, man. Yeah. Like, I'm doing it in front of you.
That's what I get a lot too. Is like, if I only had like, if I had the money, I'd do it. And I tell people, I was 15 years old, and I like worked hard. And
it wasn't about having the money. It was like the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like I do it for like a lot of the money, but like. The game of having 600 and going, can I turn it into 1,000 was the coolest game ever.
100%.
Because that's all I had.
Yeah.
That's all I had. I'm like, I just put every dollar into one item, so you have to make it work.
That's what
which was cool.
I've done that multiple times, and I know that's like risky. Like some people would say, that's literally every dollar you
16,
have. Yeah.
We have our like support from family a little bit. Like
we're gonna go.
We're gonna be like, they weren't just gonna be like, oh, you're on the street now. Like they would help me if I needed it, but I think they liked. My dad loved it. Like the process of my mom loved it too. The process of me, like, they're like, damn, he's like not normal. I won't say that's like quite normal.
Yeah.
Like the average kid's probably not like trying to flip stuff for profit.
Definitely not.
So I think they thought that was really cool. But I would put every dollar.
Me too. Honestly, it's kind of bad, but even to this day, well, not this year, but last year, even like 12 months ago, I was still putting
every dollar.
Well, because I was so confident.
Yeah.
Like I'm so confident in the deal, and I know.
But when you do that, you make it work because you're like
you have to.
Effort. Whenever you have every dollar in it, it's getting the best detail by yourself.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
It's getting like you're like I'm gonna make this thing so nice.
Yeah.
Because every dollar's in it that they can't say like they can't even point something out.
Exactly. Like you're thinking about what they would point out before.
Now that I have a little more cash, they'll point stuff out that I'm like I could have just took the extra time to fix that.
Yeah.
And it's like me just like it's
being
like
lazy.
Yeah, and it's like almost
I
like the good old days.
And then like now I'll just be like, oh, well, you can get that fixed for like $50 or something. Yeah. Before I would have made sure that was perfect
because they couldn't even negotiate.
And that's
they'll negotiate $200 off a $50 part. It's like why didn't I just pay the $50?
And honestly, that's what I used to back in those days when I cared a lot more about making sure everything was great. I would have like a lot bigger of a sale rate. Like maybe I'd have one or two, the second person would buy it or the first person would buy it. Now it's kind of like more like third, fourth, and I've kind of gotten okay with that. But I have to say it definitely is worth the effort to just go through the first two and make it look good.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah.
But hey, we learn.
Dude, we learned. Now we're here. We're what, 23 or
24,
23, making videos for you guys on YouTube, and doing this still.
Went from all that being 15 years old, now we're here getting a warehouse, starting a dealership.
Literally. Both of us. Dude, I moved 19 hours away from home because of this market.
Yeah.
Right? Essentially.
Market's great out here, yeah. Here in Cali, yeah.
Essentially, that's why I moved. So, I mean, it's really cool. So, I wanted to share this with you guys. That's Caleb and my, I would say what, like correlation or like how we got started, but just how the similarities between like how we grew up and what we were thinking at a young age. But I just wanted to share this with you guys, Caleb's side, my side, and how, our similarities matched up. And, that's why we're here together in Arizona, man. I'm not even from here. It's pretty cool. I live here now, so I guess I am from here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, we live a pretty blessed lifestyle, that's for sure.
Yeah, we definitely do. We're at the Tech Bud's house. But we literally do this every day. We're looking for jet skis. Like, for example, we were on there looking for jet skis now. We're not just doing cars, because it's coming summertime, and they'll sell well if we sell them before the end of summer. Mm-hmm. And, it's kind of a bad time to buy them, really, because it's like the price is definitely inflated.
Up, yeah.
But we want one really bad, so we're going to make sure we get a good deal. We understand that. But yeah, that's really just what we do on a daily basis. Thank you, Caleb, for joining me. If you guys want to learn more about what we do in this market, I'm telling you, just click the first link down below. It is worth it. 5 minutes of your time. That's all it takes, maybe even less. Just become more familiar with the market that we've been doing since we were 15 years old. And, let me know what you think. Comment down below if you guys think it's something that you could do and make an extra $500 a month or not. I want to see everyone's input. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.